Welcome to Dr. Amy Thompson Field, the Oneida Indians and the Greenback Cherokees. It is the home opener of the 2021 season. A week ago, things didn't go too well for either of these teams. Greenback was at home hosting Boyd Buchanan. They got defeated 63-0. The Indians up north at Corbin playing the Williamsburg, Kentucky Yellow Jackets fell as well, but had a few more bright spots. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but it's a night when these two teams come in 0-1. They're old acquaintances. It's the 40th meeting between the two teams, but they both have a brand new head coach and kind of happened late to both of them, and they're looking for something positive out of tonight, both.
Yeah, and new coaching staffs on both sides, and it just new to both, new seasons underway here, and rough starts for both teams, John, and a struggle for both teams. The Indians had some bright spots, Cherokees not so much, and they really struggled on offense. I got to watch them some on film, and they just really struggled. Boyd Buchanan, a really good football team. Williamsburg is a really good football team. But we, last week against Williamsburg, we just really shot ourselves in the foot. We had 5-6 turnovers and penalties all over the field, and just had a really hard time. So I think we can kind of maybe right the ship tonight if we do the things that we're supposed to do, and we play the way Oneida football is supposed to be played.
Yeah, and I caught one of the coaches before the game, and we were talking, and he said, after they watched the film, he kind of felt better than standing on the sidelines last week. He's seen some good things that happen. Of course, you got the fumbles and the interceptions, the things that you can control sometimes. Penalties.
Sure.
Those kind of things are things you expect in the first game, and especially if you go up against a team. And don't want to take anything away from Williamsburg. They're a fine football team. They expect to play and win a state championship this year. They competed for it the last 3 or 4 years. So yes, but you look for improvement from that week 1 to week 2. We've talked about that, and you got to clean some things up. And I also talked to him and said, how was practice this week? He said they had fantastic. They had good practices every day this week. So he felt comfortable with that. He felt like they were going to show out a little bit from what they expect.
Yeah, a lot of very uncharacteristic things, stuff that we're not used to seeing from Oneida. And that's a whole lot of unsportsmanlike penalties against Oneida. I don't know how many we had. We had probably 6 or 7, Tim.
Hey, let's be honest.
Maybe more.
Well,
than
there
that.
was 4 that were called as offsetting. So
and let's be honest about those. If the official keeps track of those numbers,
right.
There could be some expulsions even tonight.
Well, and that may be one of those deals where in the state of Tennessee that would have been, if the game was down here, that would have been, they would have been some people not playing this week because of that.
And it'll happen if it happens this week.
Yes, sir. So we got to get that stuff cleaned up. And they may have been 7 or 8. I don't know, but that stuff is uncharacteristic of an Oneida football team. We've got to shore that up. Penalties, the turnovers. We fumbled, I know, 5 times. We had 1 or 2 interceptions, 4 times and 2 interceptions, I believe. We've got to get that stuff cleaned up, man. The coverage stuff. I think we was in position a lot of times, guys, but we didn't get our head around. And not taking nothing away from Williamsburg, because the passes that he was throwing was right on the money, and the receivers was good. So they did a lot of good things, but we did a lot of bad things.
And we start with the bad, but we're going to get to the good, because there was some good for the Indians last week, and we want to there's some things to build on and that give you some hope to watch for this week. So while you're hoping to watch this week and not see turnovers and not see penalties, there are some things we do want to see more of. We'll talk about that when we come back. Right after